All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash. All right, I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles at GMS. Salutations and blessings to the Akim around the world, preaching and teaching His truth. All right, I'm Yakanan, GMS Memphis, and I'm gonna do a quick lesson going into what happened to this young Jake. Noah Nolan Xavier Wells. And it says this article also is coming from the Shade Room. So I'm going to read a little bit of this and just grab a couple precepts, and Lord willing, this will be edifying for the elect. All right. It says Nolan Xavier Wells' friend reportedly speak out as his remains are recovered on Horn Island. Update. Okay, it says Nolan Xavier Wells' friends are speaking out as the 18-year-old's body was found on Horn Island, Mississippi on Monday, July the 6th. According to the Sun Herald, Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter told the outlet that a park ranger found Nolan at approximately 8:40 a.m. by search crews at the western tip of the island. Nolan was reported missing after being seen in the area while celebrating the 4th of July on Saturday. Right, and if you go and look this young man up, you'll see first picture is gonna come up is him taking a picture with those with three other Edomites. Okay, and a lot of this is just I'm not gonna speculate on what happened, but one thing we know for sure is they're not looking into these so-called friends that were right there with them. They're saying that they they didn't know what happened, and you know how the story goes when it comes down to Esau. But this right here it kind of stood out to me. It says Nolan's friend Trace reportedly told him to be careful. Yep. So Nolan's friend Trace Carter was at the shore as officials removed his remains. Trace revealed that he'd spoken to his friend before the outing and warned him to be careful. Trace said that he told Nolan, "Just hit me up when you get back. Just be careful, bro. Watch out for yourself." You see? It says Nolan allegedly replied, "I got you. I'll hit you up later." So, hey, this kid knew something, and this should be a reason for officers or whatever to kind of dig deeper, because here it is, he's giving them a warning ahead of time that, hey, you need to be careful. Understanding and knowing, hey, you're around your enemies, okay? And I don't see how this kid didn't, in Mississippi, you hanging out with a bunch of Edomites, man, this should have went without, having to say. Okay, so let me grab some precepts, man. This is a cautionary tale of why you don't trust your enemy, man. This is Genesis 27:41. It says, "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob." Right, and Esau still has this mindset until this very day. All right, these Edomites, man, they hate Jake because they because of the blessing, and because they're not us, man. They didn't receive that blessing, so they're trying to slay you, like the scripture just said. They're trying to slay my brother Jacob. They want Jake dead, man. Any means necessary. So you got to understand, when you're around these people, they don't like you. Okay, this is a spiritual hatred. Okay, this goes back to the womb. All right. So let's get this in Sirach. All right. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right. And that's just plain and straight to the point. You don't trust your enemy, man. You can't be comfortable, around Esau Edom. Okay, these people are the devils, man. Okay, they're wicked. And, who's going to really know what happens if you're around a bunch of Edomites and you end up unalived and you left with them to have to tell the story. Just like with this situation with Nolan Wells. Okay, they're just gonna claim it to be an accident, and that's it. You go into these courtrooms, these Mississippi courtrooms, they're gonna make this stuff go away if it ever even gets to that point, you know. But I'm gonna keep reading. Verse 11, it says, "Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away." Right. This is the same devil, man. You can buy into the lies of they're not like that anymore, and not Jacob said, well, not all white people. Okay, well, at the end of the day, you do have Israelites that look like so-called white people, but you know that through the spirit. Okay, and just opening yourself up to all so-called white people is not a smart thing to do. Hanging around them, trying to mix and mingle with them, deal with the women, and around a lot of them at a event like that 250-year 4th of July celebration. That wasn't wise, man. And I would have expected that young man's parents to have put him up on game better than what he was. He was just too comfortable. So I hate to see that whole situation play out like it did, but hey, at the end of the day, what does the scripture say? Whoever perished being innocent. Okay, that was all the will of Yahweh Shema Shai. And we can look and expect for more things to start to take place and build up as we get closer to the end of this man's kingdom, man. All right, this is just one of many situations where you're gonna see Jacob and Esau, going at it, man. All right, let's finish this off. We're gonna wrap it up. This is Sirach 12 and verse 12. "Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such come nigh wild beast?" Right, because you should know better. You should know better than to, be hanging around a wild beast playing around with them. You're not gonna play and joke and hang around a animal that can destroy you. Same sense of you being around your enemy, Esau Edom, knowing that what the scriptures call him a bloody man. All right, and it's gonna say right here he's not gonna be satisfied with blood, man. But it says, verse 14, "So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit." And I'm sure all those Edomites were speaking so highly on this kid because he was a highly touted high school athlete in football. Okay, so they were probably bigging him up, telling him how good he was, all the shit you want to hear. Yeah, come hang out with us, do this, X, Y, and Z. And the whole time they're planning on, making him an example, taking him out. It says he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Right. And that's the story of Esau Edom, man. He's never satisfied, man. Okay. So the thing is, you Jakes, you gotta know, man. You gotta know who your enemy is. And that's only gonna come through this wisdom and knowledge and understanding of these scriptures. Okay. The men of the Lord bringing it out and bringing out scriptures like this to break these things down through the Spirit. Okay, you understand that you do have an enemy, man. You can't just go out and hang around these heathens and hang around these devils and think everything is gonna be all right. Okay, otherwise you could be unalived in that same position as Nolan Wells, man. Okay, so let me get one more precept to conclude this. And we're going to go right here to Obadiah because it's a punishment for what these devils have done. And we're at that time, man, where the Lord's about to bring that judgment, man. This is Obadiah 1 and verse 10. It says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." Right, so you devils got a lot to pay for, man. And that situation with this young man, this is just one of many. So, hey, Lord willing, this was edifying for the elect. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this lesson up, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem HaKakodash, giving double honors to the elders and the apostles at GMS. Salutations and blessings to the elect. Shalom.